I'm Cassie Jie Jie and welcome back to Top 5 News. So, the biggest news of the week is that Prime Minister Anwar Ibrahim bought a new cabinet. Huh? No ah? Oh, sorry, wrong info. Our Prime Minister formed a new parliamentary cabinet. Actually, why is it called a cabinet? If anyone knows the answer, can you please tell me in the comments? Right, so PM Anwar's cabinet lineup, which comprises 28 ministers, has been announced. This is like the Avengers team that will help our PM to run the country lah. Let's see who are some of the notable people on this list. Zahid Hamidi is the Deputy Prime Minister and also the Minister of Rural and Regional Development. His appointment was somewhat controversial lah because he is on trial for 47 charges on abuse, corruption and money laundering. Some said it is bad for the country's image, but PM Anwar's response was he has been charged but not convicted yet, and we have to respect the process. Some of Anwar's priority now is his government's survival, so hopefully Zahid's appointment will contribute to that. Another DPM appointed is Haji Fadilah from GPS, who will also be in charge of plantation industries and commodities. Minister of Transport is Anthony Loke, who has started his work by taking the LRT during rush hour. I guess you could say he's quite hands-on with his duties, eh? Hannah Yeoh is our Youth and Sports Minister, while Dr. Zaliha Mustafa, who is a qualified doctor, is our new Health Minister. I'm loving this girl power lah. Tengku Zafrul, who was our former Finance Minister, who served two Prime Ministers, is now appointed the Minister of International Trade. So who is the Finance Minister this round leh? It is none other than our Prime Minister himself. Economic Affairs Minister Rafizi Ramli said that extraordinary circumstances has led Anwar to take over as the Finance Minister. It is mainly to prevent conflict in his unity government lah. But you know what? Anwar has actually held the Finance Minister portfolio for 8 years under the premiership of Tun Dr. Mahathir Mohamad in the past. I guess he knows what he's doing lah. So best of luck to our new cabinet. Of course, got cabinet means got meeting, right? Here are the highlights from the very first cabinet meeting that happened this week. Number 1. All ministers have agreed to a 20% salary cut until the economy recovers. Number 2. Satire against the government and the Prime Minister is allowed, so Fahmi Reza, the satire artist, will be okay. Number 3. According to MOF officials, Muhyiddin's government committed a severe procedural breach involving 600 billion ringgit. Number 4. The special gambling draw is reduced to 8 times a year compared to 22 times in 2022. Number 5. Malaysian businessman Syed Mokhtar Al-Bukhari was criticised for monopolising rice imports in the country. While this is being investigated, he has agreed to allocate 10 million ringgit to rice farmers by this month and will give another 50 million ringgit next year. Number 6. Zahid will be in charge of peninsular flood preparations, while Haji Fadilah will be in charge of the Sabah and Sarawak regions. Number 7. New ceiling prices for eggs will be revealed by the Minister of Agriculture, Mat Sabu. So far, he has said that Malaysia will source for eggs overseas to help with the supply shortage issue. Seems like there's a lot to be done, and those are just the highlights. Anyway, you can follow Newswav for more updates on this, okay? I don't know if you noticed or not, but after the G15 results were announced, there were some May 13 TikTok videos that started circulating around. May 13 refers to the violent racial riots that happened in 1969 after the elections. About 200 people were killed in that event, you know. Anyway, these videos were allegedly sponsored lah. As in, got people deliberately paid for this content to be spread out. So PDRM and MCMC demanded an explanation from the management of TikTok because these videos are seen as an attempt to cause disharmony. But TikTok said they cannot verify if these clips were sponsored by politicians or not lah. Anyway, it is a criminal offense to upload criminally provocative content like this, yeah? And as responsible netizens, we should also avoid sharing such content when we come across one. I know sharing is caring lah, but some things are just not meant to be shared, okay? Let's move on to what's happening on the East Coast. If you haven't heard, PAS has tightened the ban on unisex hair salons in Terengganu. And businesses that violate the gender segregation law will be fined up to 1,000 ringgit. It is already an existing law lah. So if Cassie Jie Jie go to Terengganu, I memang cannot get a haircut from the male barber one. Because non-Muslims are not exempted from this law as well. This is to make sure barbershops and spas in the state follow Sharia rules and regulations. What do you think of this law? Let me know in the comments, okay? Usually when we celebrate Chinese New Year, it's sibei hot one, right? But next year's Chinese New Year will be slightly different lah. The Malaysian The Malaysian Meteorological Department has predicted cold weather from now until February due to the northeast monsoon, including cold winds and rain. The sun's rays are also somewhat shielded, which makes it even cooler and slightly gloomy lah. These few days, I even feel like I'm in a Twilight movie leh. If you go to Genting during Christmas, you might even experience the real winter wonderland. Minus the snow lah. Anyway, enjoy it while it lasts, okay? That's all for this week then. Bye!